The night began like any other, with fans scrolling through their usual feeds, chatting in forums, and waiting for new updates about their favorite stars. But within minutes, everything changed. A livestream appeared unexpectedly on a little-known website, AsianCelebLeaks.com, a platform infamous for releasing rare or behind-the-scenes material. What started as a routine evening in the entertainment community quickly turned into one of the darkest and most disturbing moments fans had ever witnessed. The stream, which lasted only a short time before being abruptly cut off, allegedly showed Yu Menglong, one of the most recognizable young actors in China's entertainment industry, in a situation no fan ever imagined. He was not surrounded by adoring crowds or working on set. Instead, he was caught in a private room with two people he should have been able to trust, his longtime manager, Liang Wenhao, and his childhood friend from outside showbiz, Chen Yuxun. The video appeared to show him being forced and exploited. Freedom restricted by the very people closest to him. Within 20 minutes, the entire clip vanished from the website, replaced with a stark notice, content removed due to violation. But by then it was too late. Millions of fans had already seen it. Many had screen recorded it, and some even re-uploaded it across other platforms like Twitter, Weibo, and Reddit. The damage was done. What had been streamed live could never be erased. The moment fans realized what they were watching, the internet erupted. Shock, disbelief, and outrage spread like wildfire. This can't be real, some wrote. Others cried openly in livestream chats, leaving messages filled with broken heart emojis and disbelief. A fan from Shanghai tweeted, "I trusted his team to protect him, not to trap him. This is beyond betrayal." Another user on Reddit wrote bluntly, "If this is true, it's not just scandal, it's cruelty." The identities of the two men in the video were not officially confirmed, but fans were quick to investigate. Online detectives compared voices, mannerisms, and even accessories. In the blurry footage, a distinct watch could be seen on the wrist of one of the men, cross-checking with earlier social media photos. Fans claimed it matched a luxury watch frequently worn by manager Liang Wenhao. Another item, a simple silver bracelet, was identified as something Chen Yuxun often wore in casual posts with friends. These seemingly small details gave fans confidence in their conclusion: the people in the video were not strangers, but indeed Yu Menglong's inner circle. Technical experts added weight to the speculation. Independent analysts who examined the footage insisted there were no signs of deepfake manipulation or CGI alteration. The lighting, reflections, and shadows aligned perfectly, making it highly unlikely to have been fabricated. This was live, raw, and authentic. One digital forensics expert commented anonymously. Yet almost immediately, official channels began working to suppress the story. The entertainment company tied to Yu Menglong released a short statement dismissing the video as fake content and deliberate fabrication meant to smear reputations. They urged fans not to believe what they called dangerous rumors. But the attempt at dismissal had the opposite effect. Clip were truly fake, fans asked. Why had it been deleted so quickly? Why were accounts that tried to repost it suddenly being suspended? Why did hashtags vanish within minutes on domestic platforms? The censorship only fueled suspicion. Screenshots of the notice content violation became evidence themselves. Shared with captions like, "If this wasn't real, why erase it?" Others pointed out that the company had avoided addressing the specifics, never naming Liang Wenhao or Chen Yuxun, never acknowledging Yu Menglong's visible distress in the footage. For fans, the most heartbreaking element was Yu Menglong himself. Though the video was short and blurred at times, his expression was unmistakable, pale, uneasy, and clearly trapped in a situation he did not want to be in. One fan posted a slowed-down clip showing him shaking his head as if silently pleading. Another described the way he turned his face away from the camera, as though he realized people were watching and wanted to hide. The emotional toll on the fan community was immediate. Vigils began to form online, with fans lighting candles and posting collages of his happier moments. On Weibo, the hashtag Justice for Yu Menglong trended for hours before being abruptly suppressed. Internationally, hashtags like Stop Exploitation and Protect the Innocent gained traction, ensuring the scandal crossed borders even when domestic platforms tried to contain it. At the same time, some smaller online outlets and independent bloggers tried to cover the story, One article on a mid-sized entertainment blog described the livestream as the most disturbing betrayal fans have ever witnessed. Within hours, however, the article disappeared, leaving only cached copies and screenshots. Similar patterns played out across multiple websites. Content went up, only to vanish shortly afterward. It seemed clear that a larger hand was working to bury the story before it spiraled further. But burying it was impossible. Fans had already archived the video on cloud drives, encrypted forums, and private groups on Telegram and Discord. "I can erase it here," one fan wrote. But the internet never forgets. Shared links popped up faster than they could be taken down. Efforts to erase only convinced more people of the video's authenticity. Meanwhile, attention turned toward the people involved. Liang Wenhao, previously considered a respectable manager, suddenly faced waves of accusations online. Social media accounts were flooded with angry comments, forcing him to disable them. Chen Yuxun, who had long remained outside the spotlight, thrust into unwanted attention as old pictures of him with Yu Menglong resurfaced. Friends and acquaintances of Chen, acted by curious netizens, reportedly confirmed that he had indeed been close to the actor for years. The scandal raised larger questions about power dynamics in the entertainment industry. How could someone as beloved and successful as Yu Menglong end up in such a situation? Why was there no protection for him against exploitation, even from those closest to him? Commentators noted that celebrities are often treated as commodities, their private lives controlled by managers and agencies. Livestream, they argued, might have accidentally revealed the darkest reality of that system. By the end of the night, Menglong's name was plastered across international news forums, even if mainstream domestic outlets stayed silent. For fans, the betrayal cut deeper because it came not from enemies or strangers, but from the very people entrusted with his care. Manager Liang Wenhao and friend Chen Yuxun became symbols of broken trust, while Yu Menglong himself became a tragic figure trapped in forces beyond his control. The aftermath of the livestream was unlike anything the entertainment industry had seen before. Though the video had been wiped from its original source and attempts were made to bury it under waves of denials, the reality was undeniable. Millions had already witnessed it. Countless more now carried it in saved files and private forums. What had once been dismissed as gossip had exploded into an unstoppable global conversation. For fans, there was no going back. They had seen their beloved star forced into a situation that no one should ever endure. They were determined not to let silence prevail. The first wave of fallout came from within the industry itself. Within days of the livestream, contracts tied to Yu Menglong's agency began to unravel. Major advertisers pulled their campaigns because they blamed him, but because the scandal had become radioactive. Ironically, the actions meant to protect the company ended up confirming fans' suspicions that there was more to the story. If the agency truly believed the footage was fabricated, why cut ties so suddenly? Why treat their own client as if he were disposable? Fans channeled their anger into action. On Weibo, attempts to suppress hashtags like Justice for Yu Menglong only fueled creative workarounds. New hashtags emerged hourly. Truth cannot be erased. The innocent. Stop exploitation. Internationally, Twitter and Reddit carried the conversation, with posts translated into multiple languages. In Korea, Japan, the US, Europe joined the chorus, horrified that someone so adored could be so mistreated by those entrusted to protect him. Vigils were held outside entertainment company offices, fans placing flowers, candles, and handwritten notes that read, "You are not alone." Meanwhile, Liang Wenhao and Chen Yuxun found themselves thrust into the harsh spotlight. Once invisible to the public, Chen became the subject of intense scrutiny. Old photos resurfaced showing him at casual dinners with Yu Menglong, their friendship once a source of fan comfort, cast as a betrayal. Liang, whose reputation had been built on guiding Yu Menglong's career from his rookie days, faced a torrent of public anger. His social media accounts went dark after being flooded with furious comments. Neither man spoke publicly, fueling suspicion even further. Attempts at damage control grew desperate. Anonymous articles began circulating on minor websites, claiming that the footage was deepfake technology. AI-generated smear campaign meant to sabotage the company. These claims failed to gain traction once digital forensics experts stepped in Analysts released detailed reports explaining why the footage bore none of the hallmarks of manipulation. Lighting consistency, shadow movement, and real-time audio sync all confirmed that the video was genuine. This was not edited. One expert concluded flatly. The live recording. The deeper investigators dug, the more damning details surfaced. Traces linked the origin of the stream to a personal device associated with Chen Yuxin. Leaked server data suggested the upload had come from a private account, not from hackers or outsiders. The narrative shifted from speculation to certainty. This was not a random smear campaign, but a glimpse of the truth accidentally broadcast to the world. For fans, the betrayal cut deeper with each passing day. It's flooded social media describing the sense of devastation. It feels like watching your brother suffer while you can do nothing, one fan wrote. Others described sleepless nights replaying the brief footage. Haunted by the actor's expression, his visible discomfort. The way he seemed trapped with no way out. The emotional toll was so severe that mental health hotlines reported an uptick in calls from distressed young fans. Counselors noted that many spoke about feeling betrayed, unsafe, and unable to reconcile the image of their idol with the nightmare that had unfolded on screen. International coverage began to pick up momentum. Domestic outlets remained conspicuously quiet. Foreign media framed the story as a watershed moment for the Chinese entertainment industry. Headlines abroad read, "Fans demand justice after star exploited in livestream and industry silence fuels anger and exploitation scandal." Analysts debated what this meant for the global perception of Asian entertainment powerhouses, raising questions about the hidden costs of stardom. Independent journalists within China also attempted to speak. He faced censorship. One blogger managed to publish an exposé comparing the livestream's timeline with known schedules of Yu Menglong, Liang, and Chen. The overlaps were undeniable. Another journalist produced a side-by-side analysis of past interviews where Yu hinted at hidden pain. In one, when asked about his support system, he had answered quietly, "Sometimes the ones closest to you can hurt the most." Fans revisited these words and saw them now as desperate cries for help that had gone unheard. Despite the tidal wave of evidence, the company doubled down on denial. They filed legal notices against smaller outlets, accusing them of defamation. They threatened fans who reposted the footage with lawsuits. Yet these moves only highlighted the imbalance of power, an agency using its influence to crush ordinary people trying to share the truth. The harder they pushed, the stronger the resistance grew. As weeks passed, the scandal began to evolve from a single incident into a broader movement. Other anonymous voices from the entertainment industry whispered to journalists that exploitation was not unique to Yu Menglong. They described a culture where young stars were often manipulated, pressured, and trapped by contracts and obligations that blurred personal boundaries. Though few dared to go public, the livestream served as undeniable proof that what had long been whispered in shadows could no longer be ignored. Yu Menglong himself remained silent, his public appearances scarce. Fans speculated whether he was being kept away from the spotlight deliberately, shielded or silenced by those who feared what he might say. Claimed to have seen him looking thinner, more withdrawn, when spotted at airports or outside filming locations. Others pointed out that his usual smile seemed forced. He was carrying a heaviness that could no longer be hidden. Silence became its own kind of statement, amplifying the belief that he was still trapped in forces beyond his control. The scandal sparked conversations well beyond entertainment. Universities held debates on power abuse within industries. Activists called for stronger protections for artists. And lawmakers were pressured by citizens demanding investigations into agencies accused of exploiting their talent. Official channels remained non-committal. The pressure was mounting. In the fan community, solidarity grew into an organized campaign. Groups pooled funds to buy billboard space in international cities, displaying messages like "Justice for the Star" and "Truth cannot be silenced." Online petitions gathered millions of signatures for independent investigations. Documentaries pieced together by fans using archived footage, translations, and analyses began circulating on YouTube and Vimeo, ensuring the story lived on regardless of censorship. Industry, once untouchable, now found itself on shaky ground. Executives scrambled to reassure investors. Brands re-evaluated partnerships. Carefully curated image of glamour cracked wide open. Been considered a fortress of secrecy was now riddled with holes, exposed by the very technology they once believed they controlled. And yet, amid all the noise, One haunting question lingered: what would become of Yu Menglong? Would he find the strength, or even be allowed, to speak his truth? Or would the same powers that had tried to erase the livestream succeed in erasing his voice as well? Part 2 closes with an unsettling ambiguity. The scandal had revealed more than anyone anticipated. Not only about one star's suffering but about an entire industry's dark underbelly. Fans had risen. Journalists had risked censorship. And the truth had spread farther than any cover-up could contain. But the forces arrayed against that truth were powerful, determined, and willing to stop at nothing. The internet may never forget. But the future of Yu Menglong, and of every star trapped in similar circumstances, remained uncertain. Those who watched that livestream, however brief, of betrayal could not be erased. It had become a symbol, a rallying cry, and perhaps first crack in an empire built on silence.